I've gotten that one comment or that one review that leaves me unsettled. And it can leave me unsettled for days, maybe even for the rest of the week. A couple of weeks ago, I actually shared a post from an author Facebook group where I was actually sharing about my new venture, Life Between the Pages. And I just wanted to say to people that I'm sharing author stuff over here if you want to come over and find out. And then, of course, my very first comment, somebody came and wrote this. That was it. Those words. And honestly, oh my gosh, it got to me. I immediately wanted to defend myself. I wanted to go back on that platform and explain who I was. I wanted to justify why I spend time creating content. In fact, it bothered me enough that I ended up making a post just about, I don't know, I guess just to kind of help me process the feelings. Eventually, I went back and I blocked him. Yeah, after I had some time to think about it, I realized something. Why did that one comment from a stranger that I know nothing of have so much power over the comments that I receive that are positive from other people? Why did that have so much power? So I went digging. And here's what I actually found. Our brains naturally pay more attention to criticism than they pay attention to praise. Researchers call this negativity bias. Thousands of years ago, noticing threats helped humans survive. Today, our brains can still react to criticism as though it's something we have to protect ourselves from. So when someone says they didn't like our book, our brain doesn't always hear that exact thing. So when someone says they didn't like your book, our brain doesn't always hear that. Sometimes it hears, I'm not good enough. I'm never going to get where I want to go. I'm never going to make this work as a self-published author. And as self-published authors, that hits really differently. We are already trying to do the job of what feels like 554 people. I mean, we're the writers, we're the publishers, we're the marketer, we are the social media managers, we are customer service, and we are also accounting, we are also the shipping department. Oh my gosh, the HR department, and the list goes on and on and on and on and on. So when someone critiques our book or our posts, it can feel like they are critiquing us. At least that's how it felt to me, especially when I received that comment. So today I want to talk about how we can handle criticism in a healthier, more constructive way as self-published authors. Trust me, this is something that is more probably a lesson for me and helping me get through the process so that I know how to handle things going forward, because I'm sure there is many more of those comments to come. So how do we actually handle criticism without letting it completely derail us as self-published authors? The first thing I've learned is that most people are simply not good at giving constructive criticism. Some people have something really valuable to say, but they just don't know how to say it. And that is what makes things a little bit tricky when we see these reviews and these comments, because criticism can actually help us become better authors, write better books, do better posts, or make better posts if we're willing to look at it differently. If we can just pause, take a breath, take a step back before reacting, which is something I really, really have to work on myself. Sometimes criticism becomes a gift for growth instead of something that shuts us down. Now, please don't get me wrong. As self-published authors, reviews matter so much. So much. As a self-published author, every review feels so important for the growth of our books and us as authors. So when we get a poor review, it can feel like our book just took 3 steps backwards. But sometimes those honest reviews aren't there to stop our growth. Sometimes they're there to help us rethink and continue growing as authors. Now, not all criticism comes from a good place. We can't treat all criticism the same. Some comments are there and they're simply meant to hurt and to be mean. Some people enjoy making others feel small. Some criticisms have absolutely no intention of helping anyone. And my response to these: block, delete, block, delete, and repeat. Those comments do not deserve more of our time than they already stole. Here's the question that I want you to remember, and that I absolutely need to remember the next time a criticism comes our way, whether it's a comment or in form of a review. Who is the criticism coming from? Because criticism and credibility are not the same thing. Is this person someone whose opinion actually helps me become a better author? Or is this simply someone who likes criticizing people online? Those are 2 very different things. But then there's another kind of criticism that is honestly even harder to deal with. At least I think so. That is the vague review. Have you ever got one of those? The 1 star, the 3 star, the no explanation, no comment, nothing. And isn't it amazing what our brains do when we see those? They immediately start writing a story. Our brains go, they hated my book. I'm not a good writer. I shouldn't even be doing this. Oh my gosh, all the directions our brains can go when we see those vague reviews. Except none of that was actually written. Our brains decided what to fill in, and they filled in those blanks with a lot of negativity. And because usually we can't ask anonymous reviewers, hey, what did you mean by that 1 star or that vague comment? We have to be really careful not to respond to the story that we've created in our head. Instead, we need to know, what information did that actually give us? Some people might say we just need to grow thicker skin as self-published authors. Maybe, but I don't actually think that that's the goal. As self-published authors, we are our own HR department. We can't block out every piece of criticism because some of it might actually genuinely help us improve. So maybe the goal isn't thicker skin. Maybe the goal is building a better filter. Okay, add that to the immense list of ever-growing jobs that we already have as self-published authors. Anyway, here's something that I am personally working on. Not reacting immediately. That one's hard for me. Yep. Just pause. Then asking myself this one question: what is useful from this that I can take away, from this comment or this review? What is useful that I can take away? Because brain science suggests that when we pause instead of reacting immediately, we give the thinking part of our brain a chance to catch up with the emotional part. We move away from defensiveness and we move towards curiosity. maybe there's something useful in that review or comment, but maybe there isn't. Take whatever is helpful and leave the rest behind. I'm definitely still practicing this, and I probably will be practicing this for a very, very long time, but I am going to keep trying. Because honestly, criticism is part of being an author. We don't get to choose whether criticism comes. We do get to choose which voices deserve our attention. And maybe that's one of the most important skills we can learn as self-published authors.